So, take three. Yeah, I filmed a whole lot of my removing all the crud and junk and vacuuming and taking out the interior. And as you can see, the seat is gone. And the volume was down on the phone, so I thought that I didn't pick up any of the audio. But actually, apparently, I did pick it up. I just had it I was playing it back with the volume muted, so I thought it wasn't working. So I deleted all that. So anyway, I'm trying again to give you guys an update. And so as you can see, I got the rear seat removed. I got most of the crud that was in here removed. You can see more of the rust that has to be dealt with. There's the armrest, which is just a piece of wood that they bolted to the door pin or the inner fender well and covered with the fabric. And pretty good way of doing it, I suppose. And a whole lot of rust there. The pumpkin, which is the ring and pinion gears are loose, so I know I can shim and adjust it with the adjusting nuts inside that hold the bearings that will mesh the gears together tighter. I just hope that if I do that, it's going to be within range and, mesh clearly, or not clearly, but good enough for it to be within spec, so I don't have a big clunking sound every time I shift into gear and a whole bunch of whining and howling, because nothing worse than a transmission or a rear end that's going out. So hopefully I can do that. I would like to reuse this pumpkin if possible, this whole drivetrain, rear axle setup. I want to lower it a little though. I mean, I can take some of the leaves out probably, or mount the what are we looking at? The leaf spring mount in the back, because I'm going to have to replace these frame rails anyway, so I could have them come up higher and have the rear spring perch mounted higher, and that would lower the car a little bit. Plus I'm going to be running lower profile tires anyway, so that'll lower it some. Yeah, nice. Yep, gonna have to rebuild all of that. I have access to plenty of steel that I can get for free. We have the shipping crates that our tractors come in on where I work. They're all from South Korea, but it's still steel. It's square stock and rectangular stock steel that they make the shipping crates out of. And so I can get all that I need for free, which is good, especially nowadays with the price of metal going up so high. So I'll be able to do that and rebuild this whole section for no cost except my own labor. And, I count that as pretty priceless. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so the underside of the roof, I'm going to use the Pour 15 metal etch rust remover and, spray it on really good and rinse it all off, let it dry, and then use Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer, because that's going to be the most cost-effective way of dealing with this in here. And this wooden frame for the side window is all coming apart and the wood's dry rotted. So I'm gonna rebuild that section with like 3/4 square tubing, which I, of course, can get that pretty cheap or free. So, or at Home Depot, whatever. So I'll do that. Make that a lot easier. Where are we? Yeah, the bumpers. Got the bumpers out. Yeah, this is all stuff that I discussed as I was doing it, but it all got lost in the video. So these are the original bumpers, which are not too bad. I can get them I suppose, get them re-chromed. I might actually just clean them all up and do a vinyl wrap, chrome vinyl wrap over them. I know it's cheap, but $1,000 to re-chrome them versus $30 a product. Yeah, you do the math. So anyway, this hole, this is the front bumper, and that hole right there is for the crank to start the engine. And that goes through here, which goes through another hole that goes all the way to the front pulley on the engine, which of course isn't here right now, but anyway, it goes through that hole right here to crank the engine over if their battery's dead. And that also, and I was doing measuring, the there's a front engine mount, like the old Corvette style mount that you can get, that bolts onto the front of the small block Chevy, and the mounting tabs will fit almost exactly where these are. Actually, I just need to drill these out and move them over just like about 2 inches, and then I can cut off this angle part and just have it straight. Have it run straight to the front cross member right there instead of it angled. And so the front of the engine would line up right on this support, and I'd still have plenty of room for the front pulley, of course, with this moved out of the way. And the radiator I'm gonna have sitting further inside the grill shell. Actually, a radiator from a 32 Ford will fit in there perfectly. I mean, a V8 conversion 32 Ford aluminum 3-core radiator. It'll fit in there perfectly and give me plenty of cooling. And that will solve the problem. I can just run a pusher fan on the front of it, or maybe dual pusher fans on the front. And so that would give me all the clearance I need. As far as accessories on this, all I need is the water pump and alternator. The serpentine belt that's already on the engine. That's all I'm going to need. I'm not going to do any air conditioning or power steering. If I ever did switch to power steering, I don't know how I would even incorporate that with that steering box right there. Maybe with a hydraulic ram attached to the steering linkage itself, like the old Fords did, and the Mustangs. And I think the Impalas did that too. So I could do something like that if I wanted to do power steering. But we'll see how it handles without it, because it doesn't have power steering now. And the engine is only a little bit heavier, so it should be fine. Should be just fine. Yeah. That's that update. And next video I'm going to show you is going to be me taking apart this door and show you everything that's inside it. And that will be coming up next.